It's a smaller week of new releases since it is officially Starfield week after all, so let's begin by talking about the elephant in the room known as Enchanted Portals. When it was first revealed, the developers got a lot of flack for how similar this game is to Cuphead, and rightfully so, since there are quite a number of similarities, but the rubber hose animation style is not exactly something that you can copyright, so I'm at least interested to see how good this game is on its own merits. In another life, I used to have my own planted tanks and enjoyed keeping tropical fish, but alas, the hassle and cost led me to give up that hobby, but at least I can do it digitally with Chillquarium. Of course, virtual fish tanks are nothing new, even going back to more arcadey titles like the PopCap classic Enchanted, but where this game is a lot more chill and idle. You're raising your fish in real time with the goal of collecting the different types of fish as well as rare and ultra rare color variants, looking very pleasant and relaxing. Hey, if you made it this far, subscribe to my weekly newsletter to keep on top of all things indie games, link in the description below. This update kind of dropped out of nowhere since Escape Simulator Portal Escape Chamber is a free update to the popular first-person escape room simulator following a number of paid DLCs, with this, of course, making you think with portals once again. It is kind of insane how influential Portal has been on first-person puzzle games, so it's neat to see another form of it here, where I hope it lives up to the legacy of its namesake. A game with a rather clunky title is Go Genius Adventures in Castle Heterodyne, a 3D action-adventure title with elements of combat, platforming, and puzzles. This is based on the graphic novel series Go Genius and is from the people that made Tesla Grad, so I'm confident that the game will at least be good. You play as the long-lost heir to a mad family, now having to return to your ancestral home to restore it to its former glory, having to battle the corrupted AI controlling the castle and the enemies within. Licensed games do not always have the best track record, but it's a curiosity at the very least, so let's see how this does. A game that borders on the bigger games section is Void Crew, one from a technically independent developer, but LinkedIn states that it has 15 employees and is being published by Focus Entertainment, so I believe the budget on this far exceeds that of a regular indie game. This is a co-op space sim title where up to 4 players can work together to man the ship, working together to stay alive through battling enemies in space.
Communicate efficiently and prevent unnecessary loss of life or limb. Always be prepared to take decisive action to ensure your crew's survival when venturing into the unknown. Working in harmony as a crew is key to success. If failure is unavoidable, blame someone else.
Multiplayer and co-op focused indie games do have the disadvantage in trying to get that critical mass of players, even more so when the game is paid rather than free to play, and strategically, I don't think it's the best week to launch in the wake of another huge space title, even though that is a single player RPG, but anyways, here's wishing them all the best. For the
cozy farm simulation RPG.
Fae Farm, which has occupied my mind space ever since it was announced, not least because of the memes, but also because of how cozy this looks. Yes, it's another farming title, this time set in a fairy tale world, and even has co-op support for up to 4 players, but it does look kind of neat and fun. In a more recent video, I mentioned that this is from developer Phoenix Labs, who are the makers of the Monster Hunter-like Dauntless, which is still ongoing as a free-to-play thing if I'm not mistaken, so perhaps a smaller subset of the team are focused on this game. But it's not an indie game for sure, given their size, and it's also a whopping $40, so I'm curious as to how well this game will do. An impressive and ambitious-looking third-person co-op shooter is Synced, coming to us from Chinese developer Nyx Studios, and is a futuristic entry with both PvP and PvE aspects. I'm kind of out of the loop when it comes to games like this, since I couldn't tell you what's different between this and take your pick of whatever multiplayer shooter is popular right now, but it will be free to play, so why not give it a shot? Just one smaller game this week in The Last Hero Journey to the Unknown, a pixel art action platformer that looks good, where the boss fights look challenging and could be fun. Let's kick off the top 5 with another pixel art title that looks cool in Devil Peach Soda, a roguelite puzzle game of all things that is inspired by games like Puzzle Bobble and Magical Drop. You have to clear these orbs by matching the color of your attack to the object, building up mana in the process to launch special attacks, looking to retain the fun challenge of those games while still putting their own spin on things. When the orbs reach the bottom of the screen, they transform into weapons and begin to attack you, and where enemies on the side do as well, so this has potential and looks like a hidden gem. Speaking of roguelites, another neat-looking pixel art title with a strategy twist is Wastelander, one that is set on a remote desert planet, and you need to construct buildings and facilities in order to survive. You do so by gradually expanding outwards and building utility lines, also having to activate ancient technology, uncover abandoned supply drops, build defenses, and more. The procedural generation means that there should be replayability, but I'm curious as to whether there will be a metagame of unlocks and progression. If you're an indie developer and have no idea how to start with marketing your game, get on my mailing list via the link in the description below, where I'll send you some free templates and guides soon. This release crept up on me since the physics puzzle game Abyss Built to Destroy is releasing out of early access this week, where if you have played games like The Siege, you will get the gist of this game. Essentially, you're given somewhat of a free hand to come up with anything that you please, only instead of siege weapons, these tend to be objects instead, using gravity, physics and explosions to destroy your targets. I quite like what I played of this in early access, so I'm excited for this release where you do need a pretty chunky PC to account for all the physics without dropping frames. An amazing looking game that looks as if it came out of a cartoon is The Many Pieces of Mr. Cool, a classically designed point-and-click adventure game with a weird or surrealist theme and vibe. The titular Mr. Cool has been split into different pieces such as his head, torso and legs, with each part having to figure out the environmental puzzles so that they can be reassembled, looking weird and cool and pretty darn awesome. Another Focus Entertainment published title of the week is the adventure game titled Chants of Senna, where you are exploring a city inspired by the mythical location of Babel, and in line with that is a story about languages. Legends tell of a traveller that will reunite the people of the tower who are unable to communicate with each other, with the protagonist presumably being said traveller, where it's about listening, observation and deciphering ancient languages in order to progress the story, having a sick art style as well, where you can find more gorgeous upcoming indie games in this video.